Two bros chilling in the hot tub.
You the twos and we the ones? Well, you are the biggest two of them all, my dog. That's what you are. You are a giant number two.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Two Bros Podcast. As always, I'm Bryce, and I am joined by...
I am Matt, and I'm sad the NFL season's over.
Yeah, I repped my Philly stuff because now we have to focus on a new sport, and baseball's coming up in a month and a half. Oh, yeah, basketball too. But baseball's going to be full swing in a month and a half. So we're going to get right into this because we're going to talk about the Super Bowl because the Seattle Seahawks beat the New England Patriots 29-13 to win their first Super Bowl. And I know they have two. I'm not counting the first one because anything involving Russell Wilson.
It's not their first. It's not their first Super Bowl.
I know they have two, but I'm not counting
All right, so
Russell Wilson stuff.
Our next thing is you have Kenneth Walker, who won the Super Bowl MVP after rushing for 135 yards and 27 carries with two passes for 26 yards.
Honestly, I think he deserved it. He was one hold away from having a touchdown and about 170 rushing yards. So I do think that he deserved it. No shade to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold did what he had to do. The Seahawks are the first ever Super Bowl winning team to make the playoffs to finish the playoffs with zero turnovers. So They did an incredible job. Move over, Joe Flacco. You have been replaced in history books. Hopefully people will forget you.
He's just been replaced as the as the game manager, Super Bowl winner. You know, I think Kenneth Walker definitely deserved this. To me, it either came down to him or I forgot their kicker's
whole
name.
Defense. Oh, Jason Myers with
Jason
17
Myers
of their 29 points.
Or what's his name? Oh shoot, their star corner.
Devin Witherspoon.
Boye
Mafe had a huge game.
Devin
DeMarcus Lawrence,
their kicker, or Kenneth Walker.
Their whole defense.
So you mentioned Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold went 19 for 38, so he went 50% from the field. 50% completion percentage, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and they got sacked 1 time. One thing I like about how this offseason is going is we're not seeing a bunch of Seahawks fans saying how he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. Like the fans
are just happy.
Feel like the fans
are just happy that they won.
I think we all realize Sam Darnold is a great game manager. He's not an elite quarterback, but he did a great job. You can almost call him an elite game manager. When it comes to game managing, he might be the best game manager out there.
And I love Sam Darnold, but I really think people over and underrated him at the same time in Minnesota because, yes, was Sam Darnold incredible in Minnesota last year, but you saw when they had to rely on him that they could not do as well. But then it brings in the Vikings didn't need Sam Darnold in the first place, and then they brought in J.J. McCarthy because J.J. McCarthy is going to be the answer. And then you see how valuable Sam Darnold actually was. Yeah, they ran with J.J. McCarthy, and you saw how valuable Sam Darnold actually was to the Vikings post-Kirk Cousins.
I think that Sam Darnold, ironically being the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to win the Super Bowl, kind of shows you how quarterbacks are given up on a little too fast in the NFL. Like I'm hearing a lot of talk about DJ Stroud is done for. His career is over as a starter for the Texans. I think we need to look at that. And even people talking about how Drake May is done. As a bit of a step back moment, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, our guy, and Geno Smith are guys who prove just because
Malik Willis potentially
just because your first tenure doesn't work out does not mean you're done.
Yeah.
The next cool thing about this was Cooper Kupp. His Super Bowl pedigree kind of came along here with him leading two rings now. Him being the leading receiver for Seattle, and I think for the entire game. With
he wasn't. He wasn't.
Oh, he wasn't.
There was another receiver. Yeah, there was somebody else who had a better receiving game than him. And I have it on here.
You do?
I know who it is. Yeah, I know who it is because it's on here.
I do see it. My bad.
So, but yeah, no. I think this is putting Cooper Kupp one step closer to actually legitimately being a Hall of Fame caliber player because There are three guys, the top three guys ever with the most yardage, including the playoffs, are Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and JSN this year. And both Puka and JSN were this year. And Cooper Kupp had 2,500 the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. 2,500 total receiving yards, including the playoffs, which is the most all time. And I think you actually have to start making a debate. Cooper Kupp belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's got an Offensive Player of the Year. He's got a Super Bowl MVP. He's got 2 rings now.
You know, I kind of expected
yes,
Cooper Kupp
he
to
had
come
a
up
lot
big.
of yeah.
We all know the value of him as a player, and I think that we're just getting to see how. I mean, he's a smart guy. Like he might not be the fastest, he might not be the strongest, but he is a smart player.
Yeah.
So I think his ability to play football was shown here. And of course, with JSN being pretty much locked down by Christian Gonzalez the entire game, besides a few flash passes, they needed a lot out of Cooper Kupp, and he gave them exactly
Yeah.
what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. And what baffles me is that JSN really did nothing in the Super Bowl. He really didn't. You saw him for the most part. It was just Cooper Kupp and AJ Barner pretty much doing everything.
Yeah,
And
he was a bit surprising to me.
and I don't think it's not a knock on JSN because
No.
Christian Gonzalez locked down JSN. There was
He
no
is a
possible
top 5
chance.
corner in the league for a reason.
Yeah, there was no possible chance that JSN was going to get anything going as long as Christian Gonzalez was guarding him. But next, I just mentioned AJ Barner because he scored the only offensive touchdown for the Seahawks, and he caught 4 receptions for 54 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw last week. I remember I thought I said AJ Barner was going to be the Super Bowl MVP. He had Kenneth Walker not have gone off,
Probably would have been AJ Barner. Yeah, for some reason, it's always an offensive player.
Yeah.
I think, AJ Barner is a very good young piece for this team, a team who kind of moved on from Noah Fant, rightfully so. They didn't expect to have the tight end play they did this year, and AJ Barner stepped up big time. So I think there was no surprise that he was such an important player for them.
Yeah. All righty. Next, we have Jason Myers, which we also talked about, finishes with the most kicked field goals in Super Bowl history with 5. And then he also chipped in 2 more extra points, meaning he kicked 17 of their 29 points. And people overrate kickers all the time, or people underrate the value of kickers all the time. But a kicker, really, if you have a good kicker, they can win you a game, they can keep you a game, but they can also lose you a game. And Jason Myers did exactly what he needed to do. He pretty much helped the Seahawks win this game.
Without Jason Myers, it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, without Jason Myers. Well, no.
It's 14 to 13.
It would have been 13-12 without Jason Myers.
13. It was 29-13.
Well, he had 17 points, Jason Myers.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. You're right. They would have lost the game.
It would have been 13-12. Yeah, they would have lost the game without Jason Myers. And Jason Myers has been a guy who's been around for a while, and I think he's not been talked about. But he has been a super solid kicker for the last 10 years now. And I think we're going to start to see the day where guys like Brandon Aubrey, Jason Myers, Cam Little become some of the highest paid players in the league because kickers are becoming more and more valuable as the years go on.
I mean, there's a reason why he has been playing for 10 years. A guy like who was that? The kicker the Bucks took for 3rd round.
Roberto
Aguayo. He lasted about 2 seasons in the NFL. There are reasons that kickers who are genuinely good last for 15, 20 years. Adam Vinatieri played for such a long amount of time. Mason Crosby played for an insane amount of time for a reason. Yes, I don't like the guy Harrison Butker and Justin Tucker have played for so long because
Nick Folk is
still
41.
Nick Folk,
still in the league.
There are an insane amount. There needs to be a lot more love for kickers, and I kind of hope that the Super Bowl gave that love to them.
Yeah, and even on the other side, there was he kicked 7 of their 13 points.
Also, can we be real? He should have won the Super Bowl MVP. He's outscored everyone in that game.
He really did, actually. He almost outscored everybody combined.
Yeah, he was literally he was over half the team's points.
Yeah. And Who knows? Maybe we'll actually finally see a kicker be Super Bowl MVP one of these years. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Hopefully.
I really don't think it's ever happened. No, Adam Vinatieri, I think, won Super Bowl MVP one year. I think Adam Vinatieri.
Keep going. I'm looking it up.
Next, we're going to talk about Drake May because there's a lot of discourse about Drake May right now. And I know I didn't help with my weird.
He did not.
I did not. But
No, I'm
Drake
saying
May,
Adam Vinatieri did not.
but in reality, Drake May is a second-year quarterback. He was a quarterback of a team who last year went 4-13 and had the fourth overall pick this year. Yes, did they get lucky by having the lowest strength of schedule or the easiest strength of schedule in the last 25 years of any Super Bowl team? Absolutely. Well, easiest strength of schedule in the last 25 years, easiest strength of schedule for a Super Bowl team ever. But that does not discredit Drake May putting up 300 yards on the best defense in the league. Yes, he turned the ball over 3 times, but he still threw for 295 and 2 touchdowns and completed almost 66% of his passes.
I love to quote Jared Allen, player of my favorite team. The lights were too bright. He's young. I still believe he will be back. Yeah. I know a lot of people are talking about how this is the easiest schedule. We cannot discredit how well he played in the regular season. Good teams beat bad teams. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and they beat bad teams.
They beat a lot of bad teams. They also beat some good teams. I still really remember them beating the Bills.
They beat the Bills.
Let's remember them beating the Bills in Highmark.
Yeah.
Very early in the season when the Bills were fully healthy. So I think, yes, they had an easy run. If Bo Nix plays, I think it's a very different team who's in there. I still think the Seahawks win. But we need to give credit. Drake May played as well as he could have, being rushed every second. I mean, Will Campbell could not stop a fly. And he still managed to pass for 295 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. And I think the Patriots have a lot more issues. I do think maybe Will Campbell's not a left tackle in the league. I think he's a little too small. He's not fast enough to react to edge rushers. Maybe he moves into guard and they draft a tackle. But we'll see.
Fine. I know a guy like Quinn Miners is a free agent this offseason. The guy, adding him on to be your blindside blocker would not be a terrible idea at all.
Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins.
No.
Elton Jenkins.
You leave them both alone.
All righty. Next, speaking of which, next week we're doing every team's biggest need and targets they'll do. I'm already writing the notes now. There was a lot of notes. We were going to do it this week. But it's a lot of notes. It's a lot of writing for me.
It is going to be an entire episode of it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's going to be an entire episode. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming next week. Anyways, Mack Hollins was the leading receiver of the entire game. He had 4 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown. Mack Hollins is a guy who has actually turned his career around in New England. He did. He has. He scored a touchdown in the brightest lights. And this is a guy who before, I'm pretty sure, never had more than 560 yards. And I'm pretty sure he broke that with a career high in like 700 this year. I'm pretty sure.
Where this season he had 550. It was still his best season ever was one season with the Raiders of 690. Besides that, he hasn't gone above 360 ever.
Yeah, but
he hasn't gone above 400 ever.
Mack Hollins is he's a solid player.
He's a player, in my opinion, the Bills should regret letting him walk. I think you look at him last season, he didn't play he got injured. 31 touchdowns, 378 yards, 44 is his longest, and 5 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I had him at one point in my dynasty league last year, and I let him go. He's
a good player. Also, he was a bit of a return man as well for the Patriots this year.
Yeah. All righty. Now after the Super Bowl, well, let's be honest. The Super Bowl was, until the fourth quarter, that game sucked. It did. It was boring. I kept wanting to turn the game off because it was just so one-sided. It was so low scoring. And it was I think 21 or 21-0 or 21-3 at one point.
Yeah.
And I knew it was over then, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe the game will get better. And it did, luckily. But it still was not one of the greatest Super Bowls. Obviously, last year's was a blowout. The previous 2 Super Bowls, Eagles Chiefs, the first one, probably is one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time.
Yeah, I will say
Probably.
that Super Bowl had everyone on their edge of their seats. Of course, the way it ended sucked.
Yeah,
I mean, that's such bullshit, you know.
yeah. But anyways, that's besides the point. Next, we're going to move on to some NFL news
You know, I was
because it
thinking,
came.
I was thinking, we have a topic that kind of relates to the Super Bowl. Shouldn't we do that during our Super
Let's
Bowl
do
talk?
it
Let me
right
move those
now.
notes up right now.
Alrighty, let's do it right now because I did something that you guys don't have to do. I watched
Thanks,
all the
man.
Super Bowl halftime shows. Yeah, please don't. Save yourself all the time because I did it already. But I'm going to rank the top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows of all time, in my opinion, because there might be a lot of discourse by my top 10, but my number 10 is The Weeknd. The Weeknd's was good, but that whole
That was
thing,
good.
it was good. But the whole like weird mirror thing got me so dizzy to the point where I can't even put it any higher. But I do think it's top 10, deserving so. 9 is Rihanna. So we have 10 and 9, Super Bowl after Super Bowl. I do think that that's a great one. Rihanna is just incredible. She's amazing. Rihanna can never put on a bad performance ever. Next, I have Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was a fantastic one. That one was, yeah. No, I forgot a lot of these existed, and then we went back and watched them. Yeah, that's a great one. That was the one where people were saying that RHCP was lip syncing, when in reality, if you watch it again, they're not. They're not. Chill out, people. Next, we have Shania Twain and No Doubt. It's Shania Twain. Can't go wrong. You really can't.
You know, I think I love Shania Twain. I think you could almost swap that out with the Janet Jackson year. That was,
Um,
of course, that's a controversial one because of what
um,
happened. I know
uh,
I can see your list, but I'm saying for me, I would put Janet Jackson's at 7.
that's fair. Next, we have at number 6, we have Beyonce. I think this is a given. I think everybody knew Beyonce's
Beyonce
was
was
going to be top
outstanding.
10.
I
Beyonce's
mean,
was
so good.
incredible. Yeah.
Well, not
She
even
brought
just
out
Beyonce. Had so many guests.
she brought out Destiny's Child. Yeah. They did Bootylicious. It was incredible. At 5, we have Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, and Queen Latifah. This was in Detroit, so it was Motown's finest.
So I'm biased to that one because that was my birth year, 1998. So I'm
Yeah.
biased to that.
It is also pretty great too. So, I mean, 96 is sucked. So I didn't put
I
it's
see your list, and I'm going to call you out for not having one on here when you're done.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, and I don't think it's
Bullshit.
top 10.
That's
I don't
bullshit.
think it's top 10. But number 4, we have Janet Jackson, P Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake, and Jessica Simpson.
Okay, so you do have Janet Jackson on here.
That's the iconic Super Bowl. That is the iconic halftime show for all the wrong
Looking
reasons.
back, though, if we could
but
remove one person off of there,
it is a great.
actually
Yeah.
removing 2 people off there wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it is. It is a great Super Bowl halftime show. Iconic moment, regardless. Go back and watch it. It's incredible. All of these are the ones I recommend. Well, there's more on here that I recommend watching, but there's more than just these 10. But I definitely recommend watching these 10 at least. Number 3, we have Aerosmith and NSYNC featuring Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. This is the stage is amazing. It's iconic. Britney Spears comes out and they all sing "Walk This Way," NSYNC, Nelly.
We talk about how Nelly's been on this list twice.
Yeah, Nelly's been on this list twice. He's not the only one who's on this list twice.
No, he's not. But still,
he's not. Next, number 2, we have the Super Bowl in LA with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. This set was just incredible. Obviously, you had all the moments with 50 hanging upside down, doing in the club. You had Snoop and Eminem with "Forget About Dre" when he goes to "Lose Yourself," and then Snoop and Dr. Dre. Next episode. Alrighty, and then number 1, I think this is obvious: the greatest Super Bowl halftime show of all time. Kendrick Lamar, 2025. I think unquestionably will forever be the greatest halftime show of all time.
How do you not have Prince on here?
Prince sucks.
And also, how do you not have Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin?
That's a great one. Both of Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime shows were great.
Also,
But-
if you're one of those Turning Point USA people, screw you. Kid Rock sucks.
I mean, I watched it just to see the troll comments. I did watch it for like half a second to see all the troll comments.
Did you
but-
know that it went too long? It was into the fourth quarter when it ended.
I know. I just kept it up for the comments. They're like, I hate this. Turn it off. Turn it off.
But in my opinion, 2020 what needs to be on this list, and I'm sorry, bro. I know you hate Prince, but that was outstanding.
No, I was just
If we
bored of it
can-
the whole time.
If I can
was
give
bored of
you,
it the
if
whole
I can
time.
give you a one of the worst should be removed from history is the Black Eyed Peas. It was pretty
I
bad.
love the Black Eyed
It was
Peas
pretty bad.
halftime show.
I think U2 very unforgettable.
U2's
very forgettable.
was not. Yeah, it was.
Um,
Listen, there was a whole
Madonna's wasn't
span.
great.
Yeah, there was a whole span where the Super Bowl halftime show was just average.
One I really
And it
liked was
was-
Coldplay, Beyonce, and Bruno Mars. Lady Gaga's was good. Justin
Lady
Timberlake
Gaga's was good.
kind of sucked. Maroon 5's was
I-
terrible.
I love Justin Timberlake's by himself.
Katy Perry's was all right because she had Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott.
That's true. But anyways, that was a nice little fun thing that we had to do because we have to talk about some stuff.
You guys get to hear
No.
Britt's hatred for Prince.
Yeah, I hate Prince. I think he's
It's a long
I
story
think he's a
of why
joke.
you hate them.
But next, we're going to move on to some actual NFL news because Browns tight end David Njoku announced he is leaving the Browns and he will test free agency. Honestly, I don't think this hurts the Browns as much because I think the emergence of Harold Fannin really makes David Njoku expendable. Now, I'm not saying David Njoku is not incredible because I do think he's one of the 10 best tight ends in the league. But I think if you're trying to rebuild, I think if you're 5 to 10, he's one of the best five.
I'd say 15.
I think if you are trying to rebuild, I think Harold Fannin fits your timeline a lot better.
He does. And also you can tell he has a really good, what's it called? A very good chemistry with Shedeur Sanders already.
He really does. And he's a nice little H-back too that can play fullback, play tight end. He can occasionally play slot.
He can
But
do
I
it all.
think, yeah, he can do it all. And that's what makes him so dangerous. And I think that's why they're not really that upset that a guy like David Njoku leaves their room. I think, obviously, if they didn't have Harold Fannin, he would have come back. But I think he knew the writing was on the wall, and I think it's best for both parties.
What worries me is that he's going to go to the Chiefs.
Don't you say those horrible things. Speaking of horrible things,
Oh, God.
we're going to talk about a guy who probably threw his entire
Not
NFL career
probably.
away.
When
He
we get
did.
done with this, I'll
did.
go through the timeline. It's
did.
over.
He did. James Pierce Jr. was arrested after a domestic dispute with ex-girlfriend, WNBA player Rakea Jackson. He crashed his white Lamborghini into her car twice before he struck a police officer intentionally to evade arrest. He was following her vehicle on Saturday and sped away when he tried to enter her vehicle. He posted a bond of $20,500 and is facing 5 felony charges, 2 of which are aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, as well as aggravated stalking, fleeing or eluding police with lights or siren, aggravated battery involving law enforcement officer, and resisting an officer without violence to his person. He is facing a minimum of 5 years in prison if convicted, but could face up to 30, according to some reports.
This is what pisses me off about him is like that was just so stupid. Like
He just finished third in Rookie of the Year.
Anyone who's been in a
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
relationship understands they end.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? This obviously there's gonna be some mental health issues. You throw away your entire life. I don't even give a crap about the career. 5 years, 30 years, your life is over.
Yeah.
First
5
off,
years
you're
5
never
years
playing
you can
again.
5 years you can still rebuild your life.
You can rebuild your
30
life. 30 years, it's over. His career,
I mean,
his NFL career, him
there-
and Henry Ruggs are done for their lives.
I don't know. I'm hearing reports that Henry Ruggs is going to get a second chance when it comes out.
The point is, 5 years, even that, I just don't foresee any teams being like, "Yep, let's bring him back."
I
And
mean,
you know what? Screw the career. Grow up as a human being.
Yeah,
You
grow up
got
as a
broken
human.
up with. It's life. You don't
Also-
you don't stalk her and then hit a cop with your car.
also, you have a job that millions of other people would kill to be in your position. You are 22. You are making millions of dollars. And you can obviously afford a white Lamborghini because you drove it in her car twice in a police officer's car. So,
Absolute moron.
what are you doing? And
I
I
really
think
hope
I
that
really think this puts a wrench in the Falcons' future plans now because I think they had their edge rushers of the future solved in Jalen Walker and James Pierce.
I mean, I think you can draft another guy. I don't think this, in the end of the day, yes, this will affect the Falcons a little bit. I think what you really have to look at is how this guy's career, his guy's life is in jeopardy.
Because he's an idiot. He was dumb. He made he does I think he was a guy who thought that he was better. He was above the law because he was this highly drafted player in the first
He
round.
thought he was
The Fal-
invincible.
he thought he was invincible, and obviously it showed because he drove his Lamborghini into a police car.
I think realistically, like the only reason he's going to get this long of a time is because he hit a cop. Let's
Yeah,
be real. It's sad to say they probably would have hit him with like uh some
fines.
fines and some community service if it was just stalking his ex-girlfriend, which is pathetic, by the way.
Yeah,
Who
which is
stalks
stupid.
somebody?
Yeah,
Like he should go to
yeah,
prison for that alone. But because he's an NFL player, the only reason he's going to get real time is because he hit a cop. Now it
yeah.
says if convicted, it's almost likely he is going
He's
to.
going to get convicted. He will
We
be
have
in there
minimum
a
sentences for
minimum
the
of
rest.
5 years. Yeah,
I just hope that
yeah.
he takes this time, this 5 years in this prison, and figures it out.
I don't think he's getting more than five. I think he will
I
get
hope he
five.
doesn't. I hope that this. I hope 5 years is what he gets, and he gets enough time to figure it out and grow
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And maybe if he does all the right things, he can come back.
He'll only be 27.
Maybe he'll only be 27, and edge rushers could play a long time. But anyways, but now this is other news that I never thought I would see. Well, maybe I thought I would see, but it was surprising to me when I still saw it because Derek Carr is back in the NFL news, people,
Why
because
is
he
that?
is willing to come out of retirement to play for the right team and the best fit.
Why does he think anyone wants him?
Why do I feel like he will be the 2026 starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts?
My question is, why does he think somebody? Why does he think people actually want him?
I think people do. I think people realize that in New Orleans he wasn't as bad as people thought he was. I do think there's a market for Derek Carr to come back
There shouldn't be.
and play. There shouldn't be realistically. He's retired, and when he played last, he was injured and not great when he was on the field. But I think people still see his last year or his healthy year in New Orleans and his career in Las Vegas slash Oakland and say, hey, maybe this guy can keep us afloat. If we have a decent enough team, which let's be honest, the Saints weren't a decent enough team when he was there. But if there's a decent enough front office, coach, and stability, that they can at least he can at least be a nice bridge quarterback and hold the ship while they try to find somebody
The
else.
only team who I think is desperate enough to grab him would be the Jets.
No. He's going to be a Colt next year.
Yeah, you guys tend to grab players who shouldn't be grabbed.
Although it did work with
Daniel Jones,
Daniel Jones. So
and Jacoby Brissett was really good for you guys.
I mean, Daniel Jones won't play next year. So if it's a
Yeah.
1 year deal, and why are the Colts just giving up on Anthony Richardson? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I think he could be another Sam Darnold story.
I
We'll
hate,
see.
I think that's something that really pissed me off the media. Who's the next Sam Darnold? Not everyone has that career trajectory.
Not everybody.
Not every,
Yeah.
you know what? Who's the next? Who's the next themselves? Like this thing. Not everyone.
Yeah.
We weren't saying when Sam Darnold rolled up, oh, he's like Baker Mayfield. We weren't saying he's like Geno Smith. He did it himself, and he's a different.
He was the
player.
first. Well, no, there were other reclamation projects first,
Yeah.
but because they didn't win a Super Bowl, we will never talk about them. Like we
Oh,
will
yeah,
talk
you're right.
about Sam Darnold. So
You're 100%.
Sam Darnold was the first one to do it. So now we are going to end the NFL episode with talking about NFL honors. And we're going to start from the bottom to the top because the top is the most important one. And that's the one that has a lot of discourse right now. Had a lot of discourse, doesn't really anymore. But we have Joe Thuney winning Protector of the Year.
I will say, if this award existed 5 years ago, I think Quentin Nelson wins it, at least three of them.
They always do all the stuff after the elite like the elite of the elite offensive linemen aren't
Oh
elite of
yeah,
the
think
elite
about how
either.
many of these Joe
Joe
Thomas
Thomas.
won.
Joe Thomas would have won 10.
He would have
He would
never
have won
lost.
10. Trent Williams would have won 5. Quentin Nelson
Yeah,
would.
so the moment that the Bears traded for Joe
Zach
Tooney,
Martin would have
the
won
moment
so
the
many.
Bears traded for Joe Tooney, I was like, crap.
Here's
I knew how
here's my
beneficial he was.
here's my thing. You can't give it to just one offensive lineman. I feel like you have to do a guard, center, and attack. Because let's
Yeah,
be
or an
honest.
offensive line
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. Like, because Joe Tooney was not the only person that was blocking for Caleb Williams.
Yes, but if you
Braxton
look at
Jones did a good job. Yeah,
if
he
you
was
look at
the
the team
best.
stats wise,
He
he
was.
had for sure.
He was.
He was probably the best lineman in the league. I got to give him credit
I mean, Trent Williams probably.
this season, though.
But I feel like Trent Williams should have won it this year, in all honesty. He's Trent Williams, and how many more chances are you going to have to get it?
I don't know. I think if anything, you have to look the way of, I don't know, maybe Jordan Mailata.
Jordan Mailata is good. That Eagles offensive line really had a consideration of being
Also,
winning.
how cool is it that we're allowed to talk about offensive linemen now?
I know. Now we need a kicker award, a special teamer award. We need a special teamer award to the NFL awards. That's the next step. Kicker, punter, return man, gunner. That should be long snapper of the year, please.
We can't have an award for every player, every position.
Alrighty. Next, we have Bobby Wagner winning Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, he did a lot for his community. I get
Yeah.
it. Living
Bobby
nearby living nearby the Commanders, you can tell how important he is to that community. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Next, we have Josh McDaniels winning Assistant Coach of the Year.
No.
Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Clint Kubiak or pretty much anyone on that Bears team.
Ben
Johnson created a heck of a team there. I really hate to say, wow, that killed me to say. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's move on.
Now we have an obvious one. Well, the next two
Yeah.
are kind of really the
next three.
4. The next
Four.
5.
Five.
The next 5.
The next 5 were pretty clear as day. If you made a parlay, you would have made nothing off these.
Defensive Player of the Year, our Defensive Rookie of the Year is Carson Schwessinger. I don't know why I said Defensive Player of the Year. Carson Schwessinger wins Defensive Player of the Year, but it's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Carson Schwessinger wins Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we're about to talk about another defensive player that is on the same team as him. This Browns team has always been known for being just hard nosed.
Yeah.
So this made sense. Carson Schwessinger had an outstanding season.
Ted McMillan wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I think this is completely justified.
100%.
Even after the hot start Emeka Egbuka had, Tyler Shuck was good.
Jackson Dart.
Cam Ward was good. Jackson Dart was good. I do think Ted was
The one
best
thing
offensive
that he did differently than all of them is he was consistent all season.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart didn't play for the first 4 games. Emeka
Egbuka
Egbuka was
fell
great
off.
for the first 7. Let me see. Cam Ward was good. The only player you could have probably thrown in there was Quinshon Judkins, but then he got hurt.
And
So
Tyler
Ted
Shuck.
McMillan and Tyler Shuck, but he only played 8 games. Ted
Yeah.
McMillan was good from start to finish of the season. He was
Weeks 1 through 18.
He was the
Yeah.
right choice.
Next, we have Christian McCaffrey winning Comeback Player of the Year. Let's be honest, it should have been Philip Rivers.
I thought it should have been Dak Prescott.
I don't think it should have been Christian McCaffrey. I really don't.
I like CMC. I thought it was a smart choice, a safe choice, but I think Dak.
How many times can you get injured and then come back and win Comeback Player of the Year?
Yeah, I was surprised. Another player who wasn't in the running for it was Travis Etienne. Made a lot of sense. He was injured most of last season.
And he was incredible this year.
He was
He was
fantastic.
great this year. He was a huge part of the Jags.
Even Derrick Henry, who missed a good portion of last season, played very well this year.
Derrick Henry didn't miss a game.
I'm thinking about this year. He missed.
Derrick Henry didn't miss a game this year either.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking back to the Titans. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was 2020 or
I
2021.
think there's a lot of other players who were a better choice for it.
It's a safe throwaway pick. That's really all
yeah.
it is. Next, we have probably the most obvious player on this award list, Myles Garrett.
It would have been.
If he didn't win this, I think people would have burned the arena down.
He would have burned the arena down.
Myles Garrett would have burned the arena down, but he won Defensive Player of the Year with his record, his sack breaking his record sack breaking season, it was obvious this was going to happen.
It made the most sense.
Well deserved. Next, we have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Drewski,
Another just
you
up.
trolled. You need to stop trolling.
What did he do?
Drewski? I can't say it because he trolled Jackson Smith. He said it wrong on purpose. Drewski, you need to calm down. You need to calm down.
If you have to watch that video off of just watch the video after you watch the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, just watch it because I can't say it.
JSN. JSN.
It was well deserved. Jackson Smith and Jigba, well deserved.
The only player who I think could have questioned him for it was Jonathan Taylor, maybe.
You know what's funny? Last year in my dynasty league, I had Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I traded him away.
You're an idiot.
I had Bo Nix, and
What'd you trade him
for?
Season.
I forget. I think it was
picks.
I think it was future draft picks, which I think traded away. So I was just stupid.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
You get so stuck in trades. That's why you just trade constantly.
Mike Vrabel wins Coach of the Year.
Another obvious.
It was obvious, but Mike Macdonald.
Oh yeah, Mike Macdonald made the most sense.
Mike Macdonald.
Mike Macdonald was the right choice.
And now we have the MVP because in fifth place, we had Trevor Lawrence with 0 votes. In fourth place, we had Christian McCaffrey with 0 votes. In third place, we had Josh Allen with 2 votes. In second place with 23 votes, Drake May, meaning your 2026 NFL MVP with 24 votes. Matt Stafford.
Made the most sense.
It was well deserved. This was one of the best quarterback seasons of all time. It's one of the greatest quarterback seasons we have ever seen.
Yes,
I get choice. I get that they didn't go to the Super Bowl, but they lost to the Super Bowl champions. And they put up a hell of a fight in their 3 games they played, in which one of them went to overtime. And the second one, and their second loss, was really close. It came down to the wire.
Yeah.
And
anyone saying it shouldn't have been him just doesn't know ball.
Most of the season, the Rams were the best team in the league. They were the best team in the league for most of the year. They were. They had a few down games, but Matt Stafford showed up still. Matt Stafford never slowed down. Drake May had his lull games, playoffs where he threw 700 yards, where he threw 855 yards in 4 games. But that's besides the point. That Matt Stafford deserved MVP. Drake May will have other chances. Matt Stafford's coming back though next year. I already said. So he already confirmed he's coming back next year. So
Burrow's not getting traded to the Rams then.
Yeah, no Burrow to the Rams. No Burrow anywhere else. He's staying.
He's stuck.
Cincinnati. He's staying in Cincinnati. But anyways, that's going to do it. If you guys like this episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys for the NBA episode. Peace.